The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
All right, if you missed the keyword for Arctic Monkeys, we'll have that at the end of sports. Also, your chance to qualify for the golden ticket.
The Q101 Morning Crew. Sports.
Well, it felt just like yesterday, and here we go again. A nice two-game series on a crappy Tuesday and Wednesday night games. Cubs, White Sox. This one, of course, up at Wrigley Field. Wow, this can be the first time the Cubs sweep and win the Crosstown Cup outright. I'm sorry, they actually did that in 2018. My bad. Not that long ago. Not a very good stat. My bad. But it's been 5 long years since they've done that. So, hey, it'd be great if they won tonight and won tomorrow night.
Cool, Brian.
Yeah, just,
Okay.
sorry.
Make him feel bad.
I actually thought I had an awesome stat, and I realized I didn't.
It says right here in your notes, first time since 2018.
Yeah, I kind of read half my stat. I didn't finish.
Yeah.
And it sounded great. It would have been for like the first time since '97 when interleague play came in and they started playing each other then.
Well, this is your whole thing, so stick the landing, why don't you?
There's nothing else to say.
Okay.
I just same argument that me and Case had that Kenzie doesn't agree with. I wish they should do a weekend series. I'd have some day games up at Wrigley. It'd be wonderful. With the Air and Water Show, I know they have a series against the Royals this weekend, but it's always great. For Cubs, White Sox with the Jets flying over will be just a wonderful more experience.
Can I say something from the perspective of a White Sox fan?
Absolutely.
I hope they get their ass kicked these 2 games.
The White Sox.
Yes. I really don't like the position that they put the Cubs in over the weekend with getting swept by the Brewers, the Cubs only winning 2 of 3 in Toronto, and then the Marlins, via Jake Berger, ex-White Sox player, knocking the Cubs out of the wild card position. I think it's fair. I think it'd be good for the city. I think there would be healing involved. I think there would be bonding involved if the Southsiders got their ass kicked Tuesday and Wednesday.
What do you think is going to happen? Ryan's always going to sell the team?
No, I just...
No. You know, that's
that'd be
not
so
on
nice.
the table
That'd be so
ever.
nice if the White Sox lost these 2 games and Reinsdorf was like, you know, I can't do it anymore.
This is my tipping point.
Yeah, this is unacceptable.
I don't think he even knows. I don't think he's going to go or watch.
For the first time since 2018, my team got swept in the Crosstown Cup. Oh, I can't do this anymore.
So that's it.
Yeah.
85 years old.
I heard this stat from Brian Kenzie, and boy, did it really sink into my heart.
That stat hit way too hard.
Oh, boy.
Well, we'll see what happens tonight. But obviously very important because the Cubs now 3.5 behind the Brewers in the NL Central and just outside the wild card still because of, well, those games that the White Sox didn't take care of with the Brewers. And also your boy Jake Berger on the Marlins now over the weekend.
God, he's becoming just an issue, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Literally, he definitely affected.
It was cute when he played for the White Sox. Now I'm like, okay, well,
yeah,
maybe you should tear something.
And Miami's completely embraced him because the first night Jake Berger played on the Marlins, they had $5 burger night. They do
Which
all
is
of these
so
things.
Fun.
Yes, they do. It's so fun. And the White Sox could have done that. They didn't because Reinsdorf was like, $5 burgers, that's not flying to my ballpark.
He's like, we make the money on the food. That's where the money comes in. People, they talk about Comiskey and they're like, you should go for the food.
That's true, the fried pickles.
I know, exactly.
Yeah.
That's like their thing, right?
Hey.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
It's very entertaining to have the thought that Reinsdorf is checking the menu prices.
He is. That's where he's involved.
And going, burgers need to be $15. Wait, $5 burgers? What? Oh, jeez.
What are we, a charity?
But what you can do is get something for free right now. Better than a $5 burger is tickets for Arctic Monkeys at the United Center. Text KNOW. That's KNOW to 312-591-8300. You get a chance at that, of course. And the golden ticket. Everything Q101 does for an entire year. Text KNOW, KNOW to 312-591-8300 right now.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Noah Khan just with an outstanding monstrous performance at Lollapalooza just a few weeks ago. It's Brian Kenzie on Q101. Time for Clash with Kenzie, 312-591-8300. Call up right now to compete in a trivia contest. A lot of people went back to school this week or you're taking kids back to school. Good time in the car if they're in there to get them ready for them books.
Okay, let me school them kids. You know what I'm saying?
So check in right now. Call now to compete in a trivia contest against Kenzie. Clash with Kenzie.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
You can't defeat her. She's too powerful.
Clash with Kenzie.
Let the battle begin.
Q101.
And here we go. Clash with Kenzie. Thanks for making it on time, Kenzie, for Clash with Kenzie.
I did yesterday too, so can it?
Broke a lot of traffic laws.
Well, how's that your business? I did this morning too, and I wasn't even late.
All right, checking in. Competing against Kenzie today is Brandon, checking in from Portage. Brandon, ahoy. Tell us something really quick about yourself.
Ahoy! I'm just an ordinary, average guy sitting out this rain getting paid.
Whoa. Do you have to work when it rains? Is that what you're saying?
I won't work when it rains, is what I'm saying.
Hey, me either. I'm going to go home.
Yeah. I assume Brandon works outside.
Yes, Brandon works outside. That is correct.
All right.
No, he works at a morning show. He's our competitor.
Yeah, Kenzie just wants to go home because she has a nice roof over her head.
I don't blame her.
I want to watch a movie.
Right?
All right, Brandon, before I set the iPad up for Kenzie to watch The Wiggles, 312-591-8300, you are the winner. And so first one to 5 wins. Listen very carefully. If Kenzie gets one wrong, you can steal a point. She can do the same with you. Call heads or tails on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Call it.
Tails.
It is heads. They show the cameras in here.
Oh, I thought tails never failed.
I know.
Did today.
Not today. Okay. All right.
All right, here we go. Kenzie, what university did Mark Zuckerberg attend? Mark Zuckerberg?
I'm gonna say Harvard.
It was Harvard.
Was it? Okay, good.
Yeah, great. The Social Network.
Watched that movie a long time ago, but I remember it was one of the good ones.
That's a great movie. Let's see here. Brandon, the Fab Five were basketball players for what Big Ten university? Don't like that laugh. 3.
UCLA.
UCLA is not right. Kenzie.
You talk about this kind of stuff a lot, so it is Michigan.
Well, it's Michigan. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I talk about it so much because they did change the game with socks.
I don't even know what the Fab Five means. I just know that you get into like fights with Case about stuff like that.
Did they inspire you to wear baggy shorts? Was that the inspiration they had on your life?
They did?
Yeah.
Also black socks.
Of course.
They were the first ones to put black socks.
Were they basketball players?
They were basketball players.
I don't even know. I just know that you're like, we're the Fab Five.
That's how I talk around here. That's what we sound like, apparently. Brandon, I go, fast Fab Five. Not Fast Five.
The Bulls when Michael Jordan was there. I mean, that's all I hear.
All right, it's 2-0. It's back to Kenzie.
Kenzie, who did Kurt Cobain marry in 1992?
Courtney Love.
Courtney Love.
Courtney's hole, you know what I'm saying? That's what you used to say.
They still say that. Brandon, name 2 of the 4 presidents on Mount Rushmore.
Lincoln and Washington.
There you go. Good job, buddy.
Yeah. I was trying to think
That's what I would have said. Who are the other 2?
The other 2 are Theodore Roosevelt and Thomas Jefferson. Don't know those guys? Not familiar?
Not Hamilton? He wasn't up there?
No, Hamilton wasn't up there.
I know he wasn't a president, but he did a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
They got the whole show about him. All right, 3-1. Back to Kenzie.
Kenzie, what is the name of Cheetos? Cheetah. The cheetah for Cheetos.
Oh.
Yeah, he's got a name.
He does.
Yeah, he does.
Guess a name?
I feel like it's something stupid, like Sylvester or something.
It's not Sylvester. Good guess. Brandon, do you know?
Chester the cheetah.
Chester the cheetah. There you go.
Okay, so it wasn't that far off. It was something like that. Sylvester and Chester, they could be twins.
That's a good idea. All right, 3-2. Back to Brandon.
Brandon, on what fictional street does Freddy Krueger live out a nightmare?
Elm Street.
Elm Street's right. Got a tie game. Great movies. Awesome movies.
Hot take. We know.
Never seen them.
Well, you're a big horror fan. See, Case has never seen them.
That's nuts.
It's unbelievable you
What
haven't seen.
bothers me is you say that you're not a horror movie fan, but like you don't even seen it.
The trailers are too scary for me.
Oh, God.
To hold his hand the next day.
Oh, God.
All right, 3-3. Back to Kenzie.
Kenzie. What former SNL cast member played Dr. Doolittle in the movies?
Oh, Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy's right. Good job. Brandon, what event inspired the famous quote, "Oh, the humanity"?
Was it D-Day?
It wasn't D-Day, but good guess. Kenzie? Oh, the humanity.
That's not like a movie or anything, huh?
It's not a movie. It happened in real life.
Oh,
It's very tragic. People died.
Is Pearl Harbor.
You're also not a bad guess. I mean, it was the Hindenburg disaster. That you ever see that?
Nope. That wouldn't have been on the radar of guesses.
You ever seen that, Brandon? The Hindenburg disaster?
I have. Now that you say it, it makes sense. Yeah.
It's very tragic.
Yeah, I saw it too. I knew.
Hindenburg out of the top of people's minds, I guess.
Hindenburg.
All right, 4-3. I hardly know her. 4-3. Back to Kenzie. She can win with the correct answer.
Wow, give yourself a rim shot on that one.
I can't find it.
That's what she's.
Oh,
All right, 4-3. It is back to Kenzie.
Oh my God! Give me a question about Harry Potter or something. Put me out of my misery.
no, I'm skipping that one.
Damn it.
Closest to gets this one. How many amendments have there been to the U.S. Constitution? If you guess the exact, you win. Otherwise, we'll give a
13?
13. What do you think, Brandon?
14.
14. Good. Price is Right rules.
What an ass.
Ties it up. Ties it up. Here we go.
How many amendments have there been? Because it wasn't 14.
Brandon.
Oh, it's 27.
27. Thank you.
I just went with the victory and moved on.
Yeah, so Brandon got the point there. He was closest to. It's 4-4. It's back to Brandon. He can win a Brian and Kenzie prize pack with a correct answer.
Brandon.
Brian, be good to me. Be nice.
Okay. Rainn Wilson played what character on the U.S. version of The Office?
Oh, my God. Rainn Wilson.
3.
Dwight.
Dwight, he played Dwight. Correct.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, woo!
Oh, day off work,
I
baby.
got that. Oh, that is awesome.
Congratulations, my man.
Yeah. Thank you. You know what? This is awesome. I've played the Know It Alley, the Know It Nothing, and what is it just Kenzie?
It's Class with Kenzie.
Thanks for being so loyal.
Class with Kenzie. The class with Kenzie. All right.
Most random
I'm
lives.
sorry, I'm so
You're
excited.
doing
I had a
work
great
ever.
part there. I love you, Kenzie. I'm
Love
glad I
you
got the
back.
class with
A
you.
lot of love there.
The Q101 Morning Crew's
Oh, God.
Clash with Kenzie.
On Q101.
Feeling the love?
Oh, yeah, I feel good.
Oh, listen, for everybody else, stay tuned. 8 a.m. is your next chance at the golden ticket. Our guy Brandon getting a prize pack from Portage. They're off work because he's a construction guy today, and he beats Kenzie. Wonderful day for him. 8 a.m., next chance at the golden ticket with Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Remember, coming up at 8 a.m. is the next chance for the golden ticket. And the tickets that you will win to qualify will be Pixies and Modest Mouse. What a show. So that'll be at 8 a.m. right here with Brian and Kenzie on Q101. This is kind of a sad story because no matter what side you take on this, it ruins one of the most beautiful stories ever told in movie history. And it was The Blind Side. The story of, Sandra Bullock was in that, who, by the way, just lost her partner to ALS. And I imagine the story breaks and she's all of a sudden like one of her great crowning moments in movies that elevated her to even another level.
Oh, Sandra Bullock was pretty high up there.
She was big, but this movie was so huge. It made over $300 million.
She did so good in it, too.
She was so good in The Blind Side. And now the guy who played in the NFL, who starred in that show, was a kid that they took in, helped, and got into not only college, but the NFL. Michael Orr is suing that family based on in the movie because he's claiming they held money back from him. They claim he never legally adopted him, like it kind of looked like they did in the movie. They had conservatorship, kind of like Britney Spears had with her dad. And then that they made millions off the movie and he made nothing. Okay?
Did they actually have a conservatorship on him, or is he saying that it was similar to a conservatorship?
Well, let's break it down. So he was never legally adopted by them because he was already 18 by that point.
Okay.
They did get a conservatorship because he was trying to get into college to play college football, the University of Mississippi. And what they said was, you need a conservatorship drawn up so he could play football at the University of Mississippi. I'm not exactly sure why that connects.
That's kind of weird.
But he needed something. They needed to do something for them to represent him to go to college. And that was the only thing they could do at that time. Maybe there's a legal expert out there that can call up and verify some of this at 312-591-8300.
To debate. Is there something there that actually did have to happen?
Well, they helped him get to college. And whatever that conservatorship did to help him get in the scholarship he got to University of Mississippi to play, they had to be his legal adults, but they couldn't adopt him because he was already 18. This was the other option. So they had to make decisions for him. Somebody had to be in charge of making some kind of decisions for him, even at 18 years old.
Right.
That's what they're saying. Also, the other weird things on this is, so the family responded last night, and they're devastated. They said, he's talked positively for a while. I didn't remember about 10 years ago or 11, maybe right a couple years after the movie came out, he said the movie exaggerated things. He had said, well, the movie's not that accurate all the time, but they said it was based on a true story, so everybody believed every part of the movie.
Well, the Titanic's also based on a true story. So, you know what I mean?
I believed for a while that there really was an old lady that threw a diamond off the boat.
And you just wanted to find that wench, hunt her down.
If there was only someone that could make a sub that could go down and look at the Titanic, I could have got on that.
Too soon.
Is it ever going to be too late for that?
That's too soon.
Or appropriate?
It's not an appropriate joke. Have some class.
Sorry, my
Brian.
bad. No one's ever said I had any. Okay, so the dad, in that show, they were rich. They kind of portrayed them as having money in the movie.
Right. They're a well-off family.
Turns out that dad had sold his fast food franchise business for $200 million.
Oof.
So they didn't necessarily need movie money. I don't know how much they would have made on the money.
Well, right. So
that.
I don't. That's the thing, is that they were really well off. So I don't understand the come up game, I guess.
Yeah. And I'm not taking sides here. I'm just laying the facts out, okay? And then up until a year and a half ago, the family said he started acting different toward them. They've had a good relationship with him, apparently, for up until a year and a half ago.
When the movie came out, he was at the premieres. He took pictures.
Yeah.
He put in his own, quotes at the end of the movie. At the end of the movie when they did the catch up on the actual family and stuff, he participated in that.
Big time.
And he was a grown adult. You have to understand, this movie wasn't made when he was 18 and then he grew up to realize something. He was a grown man in the NFL a long time later. So it seems a little odd to participate and be happy and be cool with the family for that long as a grown adult and then double back. It seems a little odd.
Something seems weird about this story, and
something's off.
I want to believe everybody, but you can't. There's got to be one side that's kind of right and one that's wrong. Even the little kid in the movie has grown up, and he said, "I know he's suing our family, but it won't change my feelings for him. I love him."
Because he grew up with viewing him as a brother.
And he bought him a car apparently when he got into the NFL. So he bought that little kid a car. Even though the family had money and they could have bought him his own car, to be honest.
But they were really close. So in the movie, that was portrayed that their relationship was a really, really close one.
So he made about he's out of the NFL obviously now. He made $34 million in his NFL career. He probably made more with some endorsements. So it just seems weird. Now the story's all tainted now. No matter what happens and what fishes out.
Is this dispute mainly about the movie money? Is that where it's coming from? Or
he is saying that he didn't even know it was a conservatorship until February of this year. And this movie came out, in 2007, I think?
How did you not know?
Well, because he didn't know how things worked back then legally, and he just figured it was some kind of adoption paper, and that was it. Now, I'm just paraphrasing because I don't know if he's lying or not. But that's what he's saying. He found that out. So now he believes they made millions off the movie. The little kid said in an interview last night that he made, at least as far as his records were, that they made about $70,000 off the movie that was part of a book that came out about The Blind Side and did all that. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to shake out in a lawsuit. Maybe we'll never hear the end of it. I don't know. But
I'm curious if they really gave him no money and the family made a lot and that really hurt him because it's hey, obviously a huge part of this story.
He deserves half, if they're, or at least something, right?
Yeah,
like that.
Absolutely. It is both their stories. This family did take him in and do that. So yeah, I would say at least 50%.
Right.
And if that didn't happen, then you make good on that. Families do crap all the time. But I'm very curious if that's the case or if they did pay him and we didn't make that much. And someone's in his ear being I bet that movie, I bet they got this much.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Somebody's saying that because he's retired now, he's got a family. And listen, $34 million, I hope he kept it all and did a good job with it. But when you hear that they have $100 million from other businesses, but he's probably, somebody's saying, hey man, they made all that money off you. You deserve more than that. Millions. Somebody's saying millions to him. And it might not be millions, even though the movie company buys the rights to something and then puts it out there.
You have to understand, people don't know that certain movies are going to blow up or what actors are going to be willing to be in them or if somebody bought the script and then sold it to whoever made it, Paramount or whatever, the person who bought the script may have bought it for $100,000. I don't know if this movie will even get made. And then Paramount did a great pitch and then bought it. So there's a lot of layers that happen with that. I don't know if they were approached by Paramount as a partner or something, right?
Yeah. Either way, it just sucks because now this movie that I would turn on now and then, and see, I'm making myself the victim here. I can't enjoy the movie anymore. Because I like to put it on and go, this is such a great story. I'm going to sit back and this is going to be my little guilty pleasure and watch The Blind Side. And it's good. And now I can't watch it anymore. because
families fight.
Well, yeah.
Families fight.
They even said like they're devastated, the family, because they've been really close up until about a year and a half ago.
Well, hopefully then they handle the lawsuit with like a lot of respect towards them. Like, what do you want to see?
Yeah.
What can we prove? What do you want legally? We'll make sure it happens, and maybe he'll, and if they don't handle it respectfully, then we'll know who's being accurate. Because if you really view him as your child, you're going to want to make sure he's okay and respect his feelings.
They consider him their kid.
Right.
Because the dad said last night in the late interview, he said, how can anybody think of me as a person that would want to make money off my child? That's what he said. Those are his words. So I don't know. It just sucks. Can't watch The Blind Side anymore.
For me, it's far-fetched to think that you met someone who's struggling, didn't have a place to live, and you thought, I bet I can turn them into a football player and make a lot. That just seems like, because he wasn't in it. It's not like they adopted the best football player on the team.
Yeah, it took a while. It took a while for him to get good, even though.
Right. So I just feel like that seems like a lot for a family that didn't even need to come up to begin with. That seems weird.
It does.
Right.
I don't know.
Unless it started with good intentions and then turned to negative. I don't know.
What if we find out the family made $50 million off the movie?
And they paid him nothing. I'm like, that's pretty sketchy.
I shouldn't be laughing at that.
I'm on my course.
Yeah, I don't know, but we'll see. I guess hopefully we'll see the conclusion to it. This all broke yesterday. It was the biggest story yesterday. Everybody's talking about it. And like I said, my take is I just can't watch The Blind Side anymore because I can't sit and enjoy it because I'm just going to think about this crap. I hate that when a movie says it's based on a true story and you look up stuff on it and then it's really not, or just a little bit of it was true.
It's like very loosely.
Like Braveheart. Braveheart apparently is not even close to accurate to what really happened back then.
I don't think the whole thing was about a woman. I think that that guy existed and tried to revolt.
He existed, but
and tried to revolt. But the whole, there's prima nocta against my bride.
Whoa, good word.
Thank you.
You spell it for our keyword, 8 o'clock?
Yeah, that's actually going to be our code word. I'm sure it will be. I hate this place.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Okay, 5 minutes away from your next chance at Golden Ticket. That is everything Q101 does for a year. Free concerts, thousands of dollars of free concert tickets. A lot of people are just jammed up in massive traffic right now. Stay put just 5 minutes, and you're going to get that. Plus, tickets for Pixies and Modest Mouse at the Salt Shed. What a show. Now, we just talked about The Blind Side, how the actor or the former NFL player, Michael Orr, is suing the family, which was Sandra Bullock's family in the movie.
Not in real life.
Not in real life,
He's not suing Sandra Bullock.
No. Sandra Bullock's a peach. She didn't do anything wrong.
She's delightful.
She's just a good actress.
Yes.
And the movie was incredible, but now he's suing, saying that they basically took money that should have been his. That's the kind of the paraphrasing.
He's also saying that he's part of a conservatorship. When he was 18, they signed him up for a conservatorship, and he didn't really realize that until recently. So I would love more details on that. Like, did he try to do something like a medical decision and couldn't? Like, think about that. That would be really messed up.
Yeah, he's got a family now. He's married. He's out of the NFL. He made $34 million in the NFL. The family was rich, and they made $200 million on selling a fast food franchise. Remember, the guy was in the movie. He had some kind of food business. Mm-hmm. And so it's weird. It's just weird. And it ruins the movie now at this point because how is this going to shake out? You know, they had a good relationship their whole life, and then all of a sudden, since February.
I hope it's a misconception and, like, mathematically the breakdown of splits makes sense because they made, they're making less than he thought. I hope so. Like, I hope it still ends up being a good story because I'd feel really crappy if this flipped around and they were like evil as can be. Because I was saying what I don't understand is how could they have plotted, because in the movie he didn't play football.
Yeah.
Right? They got him into it. So I'm like, that's kind of a stretch. But somebody else texted in and said that's one of the details they changed. He was already a star on the team.
Yeah.
Which is a little different. I don't know.
But maybe if they didn't help him, he wouldn't have gotten to college and they wouldn't play in the NFL and made $34 million.
Yeah, I don't know. But you're never allowed to take advantage of people.
Well, no. If I was him and that movie made $300 million, even though you might not have much legal right to it because you signed away your rights and all that, like they did, he said he didn't make anything off the movie.
That's crazy to make nothing.
I want some money. I'd want some too. I get it.
Because even if it seems like they made $100,000, good Lord, on the movie. And so even if that's all that they made, he should get a big percentage. You should get like half that. It's obviously The story doesn't exist
So he's
without
thinking like
him.
50 grand or 100 grand or something. I mean,
Right, but that was still stingy if they didn't do it. That's not good. Why wouldn't you want to pay your son for his story? So that's not good either. I don't know.
we'll see. We may never hear because it might be some kind of non-disclosure and it gets settled. But
it makes me sad.
it just ruins the movie. I love watching The Blind Side. Now I can't watch it.
I feel bad for everyone involved, like Michael and then the family, and you're like, I can't watch the movie.
Pretty much. I'm just looking at me. I look in the mirror and I see me not watching The Blind Side anymore.
That's all you see.
But we watch other movies. There's so many movies that say based on a true story, and they're not true. Like we were just talking about Braveheart. Yeah, apparently it has so many historical differences. Like
What?
kilts weren't even around at that time.
What?
There were no kilts at that time
Come
of the era.
on.
There was no
way.
kilts.
What'd they wear? Pants?
They wore like slacks, yeah. They were
Slacks, jeans. They were the first.
They wore yoga pants.
Oh, no.
I guess overall, just almost every event in there is not true of Braveheart, which leads us to what our key word will be right after, no doubt, when we give you the key word.
I hate you guys so much that you did this to me.
You won't believe what the key word will be coming up next for the golden ticket. Get your fingers ready to
You guys suck.
type in something pretty accurate. Relates to Braveheart. It's Q101. Brian Kenzie.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.